Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. Thanks for joining us on this fine Thursday night. Very foggy out. But besides that, it's a good day. Mr. Rich, how are you doing today, buddy boy? Welcome to the Golf Dudes Podcast once again.
What's going on there, Joe? Yeah, foggy. Some of the snow's actually gone. Hopefully it'll be gone by tomorrow. Saturday's supposed to be a little frigid, so hopefully the majority of the stuff goes away. But yeah, we had a degenerate day today. It was a good day watching some golf at Laura's. What's going on with you?
Well, it's been a fun week for sure. I figured it was going to be a crazy week in the world of professional golf, and it was. And we're going to get to that because there's a lot of breaking stories and a lot of stuff going on. Apparently, Brooks Koepka just took a big shot at Phil Mickelson. So
I'm looking at that on Twitter right now, on Golf Digest right now.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in 1 second. But first, we should tell you, if we want to be good partners in crime, that the Golf Dudes Podcast is presented by Link's Drinks. Link's Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can. A transfusion is vodka, ginger ale, and grape juice, all mixed up into one refreshing beverage. Look for Link's Drinks at country clubs and liquor stores near you. And we know Link's Drinks just killed it last week down at the PGA Merchandise Show, I should say. So congrats to them, and we're looking forward to doing more with them come summertime, and we have hopefully a few projects planned with them going forward. So shout out to our guys at Link's Drinks. We had a crazy week in professional golf, as I projected that I could be, with the PGA Tour at Pebble Beach, and then the Saudi International going on, obviously overseas. And to start the week, we put up, I actually I edited a clip of our interview with Bob Harrig, formerly of ESPN apparently, now of Sports Illustrated. And I actually hit him today with a message congratulating him on the new gig, but that's neither here or there. But he's now at Sports Illustrated. Still come out with his Tiger Woods versus Phil Mickelson book. That it's actually available for pre-order today. So make sure you get online and buy that. But anyway, I re-edited our interview with Bob Harrig where he gave us that great clip, that great response about the battle that's ongoing. He probably gave the best answer you could possibly give, defended both sides, talked about both sides, part of the whole thing. And now we get to this week, and I don't know, maybe your thought is different, but two major stories, blockbuster stories that hit just over the last handful of hours. Last night we had the Phil Mickelson story where he called the PGA Tour greedy, basically, and I have some of the quotes written down that we can get to in a second. So that was the number one thing that hit that we put up. Obviously, we haven't put up every single story. Obviously, there's other things going on, but we try to target the biggest ones. So I thought the Mickelson one was big last night. Then this morning, we had this story about Bryson Deshambo being offered a whopping $135 million to be the face of this Super Golf League. And for those that are wondering, as we put in the article, the $135 million is more than Tiger Woods has made on the course his entire PGA Tour career. So two whopping stories that I think serve as a jumping off point on this topic, and that's kind of where we start. Obviously, there's some local stuff going on as well. Kings Crossing is hosting a snow golf tournament next week, and also Davis Chatfield tees it up tomorrow for his final semester of college golf. But I really want to start with this PGA versus Saudi thing. I think, as we've talked about before, and we have talked about this a bunch before and written about it, I think it's fascinating, the whole situation. But Rich, just to get your thoughts just on those two big-time stories that broke within the last day, but obviously there's some other things going on with Lee Westwood, Ian Poulter, perhaps Justin Johnson. But your kind of overall thoughts on the whole situation. Then we'll get into I want to get into some of Phil's quotes as well, but just your thoughts on those two blockbuster whopper stories.
So, like you said, as we were connecting for this Zoom call, Brooks Koepka took to social media and calls out Phil Mickelson for the greed comments, as you said, that happened this morning from your boy Big Phil. Let's see. Germans are trolling. So Mickelson. I'm paraphrasing from the Golf Digest article that just came out. Mickelson was defiant in an interview with Golf Digest's John Huggan regarding his beliefs in the PGA Tour shortening his playing members over media rights. So pretty much the PGA Tour players, when they sign on to a PGA contract, they legit have no rights to their media. It's a multi-billion-dollar deal that the PGA Tour has. They have a ton of media rights over their players, which is, I mean, if you think about it from any other sports aspect, is kind of insane. So the players don't have access to their own media. If the tour wanted to end any threat, now I'm paraphrasing, don't get me wrong. If the tour wanted to end any threat from the Saudi tournament or anywhere else, they would just hand their media rights back to the players. But they would rather throw 25 million here and 40 million there than give back roughly $20 billion in digital assets that they control over the players. Like, do you hear that kind of thing, Joe? $20 billion.
Yeah, and then the other part of the actual,
it's absolutely insane.
And Bob Harry explained this to us, which again, if you go back and watch that clip of the interview, I mean, the whole interview was obviously amazing because it was just cool to hear his perspectives and hear his insight. But that part of it was truly fascinating because he talks about
it's insane.
He told
it's
us about,
absolutely crazy.
He told us about that, and then Phil talks about how when he plays in the match, this new charity. I don't want to call it a gig. It's not a gig. This charity endeavor that they've been doing, 5 of them. He has to pay the PGA Tour $1 billion, basically, to be able to play in this tournament.
He's got to play. He's got to pay them. He's got to pay them like a royalty just to play in something outside of the PGA.
So I mean, you have the quotes. I have them written down here. Obviously, all that courtesy of Golf Digest. It was kind of weird. I wasn't sure if that was a Mickelson press conference or if he just gave an exclusive interview to Golf Digest. But nonetheless, we cited them. Whatever, it's all good. Either way, he blasted the PGA Tour. He said he's not sure where he's going from here, and he basically called them greedy. He says this is type of obnoxious greed has really opened the door for opportunities elsewhere. So combine that with the Deshambo news this morning again. Deshambo offered $135 million. Now Deshambo should be noted. One on a journalism note, the original source that broke that story is Sports Mail. That broke the Deshambo story is Sports Mail. I personally have never heard of Sports Mail. I think that's a UK place, a UK website. I think. I'm sure that it is. But my thinking was that Golf Digest went with it. They cited a story on using Sports Mail, and others have as well. So I figured if Golf Digest can cite them, so can Golf News or I. But anyway. All right. So before you go ahead, I would just want to see something because I'm actually just looking at this article as we got on the air. So it says now, granted, citing Golf Digest, obviously, while Mickelson's comments have made headlines, at least one player, the aforementioned Koepka, is not buying them. At least that's what we can be surprised by Koepka's response to social media to the Mickelson story. Don't know if I'd be using the word greedy if I'm Phil. Koepka's account wrote on Instagram. So, correct.
These guys, like we've been talking about this for the past like probably like couple months, but like actively in the past like week. I think money talks and BS walks here. We talked about this all day today. I think a lot of these guys are sort of thinking about it.
So we talked about this as well, and again, this will be on the table for the entire show. Obviously, some of the local stuff we can get to down the road, but I think this is just the most fascinating story right now in golf, and it's our responsibility to lead with the news. And I think this at this moment will be the news. And the other thing that I thought was interesting is, and just to I cited this in our article at the beginning of the week that I sort of previewed what I thought was going to be a fascinating weekend. It certainly has turned into that. And the week's not even over yet, amazingly.
I know, right? It's only Thursday.
According to relatively famous golf writer Jason Sobel, just one of the top 10 players in the world are at Pebble Beach. Right, Pebble Beach is the PGA Tour tournament this week. The AT&T at Pebble Beach. Obviously, a bunch of celebrities are there, including Macklemore, Josh Allen,
Jack Nicholson.
I think Ray Romano is playing. Anyways, so nonetheless, it's Pebble Beach. That's all you need to know. And then there's 3 of the top 10 and 6 of the top 20 are over at the Saudi International. So that's really a huge statement on as far as what players think of the two sides, I believe. Because who would want to play Pebble Beach? In theory.
I mean, everybody wants to play Pebble Beach, but not like in a pro-am format. Like, obviously, if it's the U.S. Open, obviously, shout out to Gary Woodland. He won the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach a couple of years ago. But like, I think that the players are trying to like, as much as this is a what's it called? Oh crap. Not a play on words, but like something everybody says. I can't remember the term. But like players are trying to expand to other endeavors, whether it be money or better challenges or better endorsements. I mean, even though the PGA Tour has rights to these guys, these other guys kind of want to expand to other endeavors.
Right. I mean, they want to have, like Mickelson said, they should have their own, control of the media or their
control
own,
of how they want to be perceived. Absolutely.
Their own media. And he even, if you look further in our article, but also obviously in the Golf Digest article, he even took a shot at the Netflix series, which I thought was interesting. And he said,
I haven't gotten that far yet.
I'm
trying to read it.
And he said, quote, "Why hasn't golf had cameras and microphones on players and caddies? Because the players would not benefit, only the tour. So players are just wearing them. Take this Netflix project that is underway. None of the players
He's not wrong.
None of the players are getting paid, but the tour is getting paid a lot of money. As is
from
Augusta,
Netflix. Right? Absolutely, yeah.
As is Augusta, and he continues, as is Augusta National, and as is the USJ. But if the players had their own channel, maybe they put up their own content, and we start to see golf presented in a more intimate way, or more intimately, I guess he says.
Joe, could you imagine a players only channel? How much would you pay to see all the majors? We'll say the 5 majors. So I'll put Sawgrass in there, the Players Championship. How much would you pay a year to have all 5 majors plus a bunch of the playoffs plus like a couple like regular season tournaments that are big on a players only channel? How much would you pay?
I mean,
as a huge golf fan, I'd probably pay like $100 a year. I'd give up $100 a season for that.
I'd probably pay depending on who the players are, right? You have to know who the people are.
True.
But obviously, I mean, you probably pay. I mean, what do we play? What do we pay for ESPN Plus? We pay $8 or something a month.
Yeah, it's like 8 or 7, so 8 times, 12 times, yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of the same.
So then just to finish this quote from Phil, he continues. He says, "If I had access to my own channel and access to my own media, I would have a camera and microphone on my hat, and on my brother's hat. His brother's obviously his caddy, and on my golf bag with a 360 view, and I would bring the viewers in. They would see and hear what is going on. But none of that happens currently because why would any player do that? To make more millions for the tour? They already make enough. The tour only understands leverage, and now the players are getting some of that. So things are changing and will continue to change. I just hope the leverage doesn't go away. If it does, we'll be back to the status quo." Obviously, when he says the leverage, he's talking about the Saudi Super Golf League. So him and DeChambeau declined to host a press conference following his first round over in Saudi. I wonder why. He didn't comment on the report of getting $135 million to be the face of this league. And one thing that's interesting is that we talked about this earlier today in our pre-show get together. What players, uh, in order to make this Saudi Super Golf League interesting to to fans and most notably us, what kind of players would it take to go over there? But then what would those players also be sacrificing, right?
Like what? Who's going to be the hook to get us in?
So right now, that apparently they're seeking to get Deshambo to be the face of it. They've reached out to Mickelson. They've reached out to Lee Westwood, who apparently signed not apparently, he said he signed a
He signed an
non-disclosure
NDA.
agreement,
Yep.
which basically, I mean, as far as I can understand, and I'm not a lawyer, that basically means he's been in negotiations with them, and maybe perhaps something could be happening. They offered
Yeah,
Ian
absolutely.
Poulter $30 million to now. If Poulter takes it and Westwood, they would have to relinquish their Ryder Cup status. And obviously, we know the Ryder Cup means a ton to those guys. And both of them are probably in line to be captain at some point within the next
Yeah,
10 years
gotta
or
be within
so.
the next
10 years
in
or
the
so,
next
right?
5 to 10 years.
Probably even 5 years. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
So
five
what?
to 10 years maybe. So
So what? So what do you think it would take? What is the guy that says, okay, this is legit, or this is
I mean,
worth looking? Is DeChambeau
you
that
got
guy?
to
Is
think what
Mickelson that guy?
we talked about earlier. I think that I think Phil's a little ambitious, but not quite so ambitious. It's a weird situation because like we talked about earlier, I think Phil is I don't think Phil's good enough to play on the PGA anymore. I think that I mean, aside from insane his insane showing at Kiowa, but I don't think that I think he's too good for the champions, but not good enough for PGA. So this Saudi thing might be good. It's only if they get the right talent there. Um, he absolutely dusts the competition in the Champions League. So that's kind of out, and he's not good enough to play on the PGA. They need to get Phil as like maybe the ambassador and a bunch of players that are just under him, maybe like a Lee Westwood, maybe an Ian Poulter, maybe a Graham McDowell, or something like that, in order to get people hooked and keep people hooked. You know,
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if Bryson DeChambeau does it for them, but it certainly could.
I don't think so, man. I think he's so wrapped up. I mean, 135 mil. I mean, that's 135 take up front. That's insane. Like you said, that's more than Tiger's made on the tour. Um, I don't think his competitive nature would I don't think his competitive nature would let him take that, given the fact that of who he is, what he made himself into. I mean, he's already a major champion. He's got what's it called? Endorsements out the butt. I just don't see him doing it. I mean, if they somehow get him, I mean, the sky's the limit for this tour. I mean, that he's a top 10 player. So I'm not really sure what Bryson's thinking is here.
Well, I mean, again, he declined to comment in his press conference after the first round of the Saudi Invitational, which, if you weren't sure, got underway early this morning at I think Golf Channel picked up coverage at 3 a.m. or something. Then they continued coverage at 6 a.m. I actually watched the last about half hour of it or so. But if you want to watch that, that's on TV as well. We'll get into that. Some of that later. But just what is the PGA Tour now? Their response. Obviously, they've tried to ban players from participating in the majors. Augusta's done the same thing. The USGA has done the same thing. So if any of these guys, whether it's DeChambeau or Mickelson, like he said, he's kind of washed up anyways. But he did acknowledge that if he somehow wins the U.S. Open at Brookline, he would probably just retire. Given his history in the U.S. Open, I don't think he's going to win it, but that's just me.
No, Brookline's tough. I mean, obviously Kiowa's tough. I mean, he pretty much caught that course at like the perfect time. There wasn't an incredible amount of wind. Sorry, especially with it being right on the ocean. Hence the ocean course, obviously. I think he caught it at the right time. He caught a groove. He was playing great that whole couple week stretch. I don't think he sniffs anything at Brookline. Brookline's a really, really tough course, albeit it's landlocked. There's no water or anything. I think if I'm him, I should seriously think about it. Given the fact, like I said, not good enough to compete normally on the PGA Tour, and dusting the competition in the Champions. Maybe he needs to branch out and find something else.
Do you think that eventually this is all going to get settled with the PGA Tour and this Saudi Golf League, which again is basically being run by Greg Norman?
Yeah.
Do you think this is eventually going to get settled with some sort of agreement or some sort of coming to Jesus moment, if you will,
Yep.
where they said, "Can I put all this beside them?" Because I feel like there's a chance, and it could be the tour. And who knows if this Saudi league is even going to get off the ground, right? That's part of the whole thing. Apparently, it seems like
they're throwing around money like they think it's gonna get off the ground. But
well, they said they're willing to spend. I think in the Golf Digest article, they said that the Super Golf League is willing to spend up to $1 billion on like top ranked players and top name players. So that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do you think this is eventually going to have a come to Jesus moment, and it's all going to be kind of combined into one type of thing, kind of like it is now with the PGA Tour, the European Tour? This is just going to be another tour that you can kind of go play. You think it could eventually? I mean, it doesn't seem like anytime soon, to be fair. But do you think that could happen? Down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like we talked about during the day today. I think eventually, once and if this tour, the Saudi tour, gets going, like I said, the train goes forward. I think that the PGA is going to have to now, granted, give or take who they have. I think that they're going to have to throw out a number. Be like, let's say that the Saudi tour has 25 events. The PGA is going to have to let these guys play in 5 or 10 or like 12 events a year, or like cap it at something. Maybe 12 is too much, but they're going to have to let these guys play in another league, whether it be the Saudi tour, whether it be the DP tour, European tour, whatever it is. They have to give these guys an allotment of tournaments to play in besides the PGA Tour, if in fact this tour does get off the ground running. You know what I mean?
It should most certainly be interesting. Again, other players that appears that the Super Golf League is going after include Ian Poulter, who's reportedly offered $30 million. Lee Westwood, who we mentioned, signed a non-disclosure agreement, and Dustin Johnson was also asked about it, and he kind of danced around the comment as well. So as I thought at the beginning of the week, I thought this would be a fascinating week in professional golf. It certainly has.
And let me cut you off real quick. And these guys, you got to remember that these guys take that money. Bryson takes the $135 million. That's up front. That's like a signing bonus to them. If this tour doesn't happen, that's in their pocket, and they could possibly go back to the PGA Tour. And if not, if the PGA Tour doesn't let them back in, it's whatever. I'm $140 million richer. Who cares?
Absolutely. So it's going to be.
It's crazy. The money's insane.
It's going to continue to be fascinating. I'm sure more stories will come out over the next couple of days. Again, I say only at Thursday, but golf tournament-wise, we're only at Thursday, and there's still 3 more rounds of each tournament to go. I don't expect much to come out of the Pebble Beach tournament. According to Golf Digest, The PGA Tour did not comment on the Mickelson comments or on any of the other situations that are going on, but certainly you would expect something to come out of something more to come out of the Saudi golf tournament. That's just my guess. We'll see what happens. We'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the night and into obviously the weekend. So certainly a fascinating thing going on there. Again, a fascinating time to be covering this stuff. And as I predicted, it was going to be an amazing week because there's so much storylines. And that Mickelson thing was a bombshell last night. So that's certainly.
Well, I mean, this Brooks thing is kind of a bombshell just as we got on the air,
Yeah, he made the only thing is he made. I'll be interested to see is he even playing this week. I'd be interested.
I don't think so. No.
I'd be interested to see if a reporter or somebody follows up with him whenever we see him again, because that'd be interesting to see him actually. And I'm sure he will.
Let me see. I'm gonna look right now. I don't think he is, but
I don't think he is either. That's why he was commenting on social media. But it'd be interesting to see if a reporter follows up with him in his next tournament. I don't know if is the next tournament the Genesis. I'm sure.
Riviera, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he's playing that.
Max Homa, defending champion, not a big deal.
True.
I don't.
He's not. I don't think he's playing this week.
No, I'm not seeing it on the. No.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see when and if a reporter follows up with him on that comment, because I think these Mickelson, especially the Mickelson comments again, Deshambo didn't comment, so you can only go off his report. And
so where are you on the whole like Brooks being Brooks thing? Are you in favor of it as far as the PGA Tour is concerned, or are you like he should stop being a D-bag and just play golf? I mean, I love it. I love the fact that he's kind of a little bit of a D-bag. I think that, he's obviously got the skills to back it up. He's got multiple major championships. I like the fact that he calls people out. I like the fact that he talks crap. I like the fact that, I didn't really like the fact that the whole Bryson thing. I thought that was a little bit overblown and like fake. But I do like the fact that he like tries to call people out on crap and plays with a I don't give a crap attitude. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I'm not into his blonde hair. I think that looks like crap.
He looks like a Q-tip, no?
I'm not into his blonde hair. But listen, let's just be real for a second, okay? We're in the golf media business. We're in the content business. So I'm pretty much in for anybody that presents content. And Brooks Koepka, generally speaking, now some of it's stupid, but generally speaking, Brooks Koepka presents content. I like him. Keep it going. Now I think the match.
Like I said, I don't like the DeChambeau shit. I didn't like the match stuff in Vegas with all. I think that was fake.
That was a disaster.
But
yes.
But no, I genuinely like his crap talking, IDGAF attitude. I like it. I think it's good for the game, and as long as he like quasi backs it up, meaning gets a bunch of top tens during the year, or maybe even a couple top fives, I'm down for it. I'm all down for it.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's great. Keep going. Hopefully, it does more. And hopefully, if we get the press transfers to Brookline, we can interview him and we can poke the bear.
Oh, dude, how amazing would that be?
And hopefully, we can poke the bear. So, listen, as I say, I'm in the content business. I'm all about golf, love golf, love playing it, want to try to help grow golf locally. But at the end of the day, we're in the business of content. So, Brooks Koepka, as far as his trash talk goes, is good for content. So, now his blonde hair again is terrible, but other than that, he's good for content, so I'm all for it. Keep going. Two professional golf tournaments going on this weekend. As you mentioned, the PGA Tour at Pebble Beach, and also obviously the Saudi, which is what everyone's talking about. There are also a couple local things going on. A big snow golf tournament at Kings Crossing, and Davis Chatfield tees it up tomorrow in the first tournament of the spring season for Notre Dame. So I want to get to both of those things, and obviously this will be on the table for the rest of the show. Obviously we got up to a late start due to computer issues but we will go a little bit longer, so I want to hit on these things. So we're going to hit on all of that, Kings Crossing, Davis Chatfield, and more professional golf talk right after this commercial break. This is the Golf Dudes podcast, and we'll see you in just a minute. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armin Katayan. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Pig.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
And welcome back to the Golf Dudes podcast, presented by Lynx Drinks. Lynx Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can. Transfusion is vodka, ginger ale, and grape juice, all mixed up into one refreshing beverage. Look for Lynx Drinks at country clubs and liquor stores near you. This is the Golf Dudes podcast on Facebook Live and also on the Coalition Radio Network. Make sure you follow us, golfnewsri.com. We just, earlier this week, we quote-unquote partnered with Linktree to have all of our links and all of our content in one place. So check us out on Linktree. The link is in our bio on every single social media platform. It's also in my personal bio. So make sure you check that out. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, obviously the website, and even the YouTube page is up there. Though it's really my personal YouTube page, but either way, it still counts. So check us out on Linktree. It's pretty cool thing that was invented in an easy way to follow us on all of our platforms. Obviously, we do a lot of our content is the same on each platform, but certainly, especially during the season, some content will be different because it's better for different content is better for different platforms. So make sure you follow us on all of our platforms. Again, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All right, so we went into the break talking about the PGA Tour versus the Saudi International, the Saudi Super Golf League. I think it's fascinating, and both of those tournaments are running as we speak. PGA Tour, I think, just finished over at Pebble Beach for the day. Can't be that long ago. Within the last probably a couple of hours, I would guess. And then obviously the Saudi International, the first round finished obviously this morning. So why don't we do this, Rich? Let's give the folks what they want. Kind of a generic rundown of the leaderboard. If you can do each tournament, I have the leaders in front of me. I can also help you out with one of the two if you need it, and then we'll kind of get into some of that. And also we have some quick local notes to get to as well.
All right, yeah, I got Pebble Beach up. Now, if you guys don't know, they're playing all 3 Pebble courses, which is Pebble, Spyglass, and the Monterey Peninsula Club. So they're splitting up the field between all 3 courses. Now it's a pro-am, so they have an extended amount in the field this week. They're obviously keeping track of the pros and the amateurs and a separate thing. So for the pros, obviously that's all anybody cares about. We got Tom Hoagie, who played the Pebble Beach course, leading at 9 under. Jonas Blix, blast from the past, he's at 7 under. Patrick Cantlay, 6 under, tied for 5th. He played the Monterey Peninsula course. I'm just gonna run down these now. Sean O'Hare, blast from the past, 5 under. Doc Redmond, 5 under. Scott Stallings, Billy Haas, 5 under. Let me scroll down. Hang on. Bo Van Pelt, where you been? 4 under. Jason Day, 4 under. Hopefully he can play a little bit better. Hopefully the weather cooperates with him. He had a great week at Torrey Pines last week. Troy Merritt, Peter Malnati, Kevin Streelman, all at 4 under. Let's see what we got. What else we got? Your boy Peter Uline, he played the Monterey Peninsula course. He's at 3 under. Matt Fitzpatrick, 3 under. Jordan Spieth, 3 under. He played the Monterey Peninsula course. Kevin Kisner, 2 under, Monterey. Charlie Hoffman, Spyglass Hill, 2 under. Pat Perez, he had that. He had a great last round at Torrey Pines last week. He played Pebble Beach today. He's 2 under. Jimmy Walker, 2 under. Nick Watney, 2 under. There's a lot. I'm only halfway down the list right now. Let's go down to the end. Let's see who brought up the rear. Tom Lehman, he was 3 over at the Pebble Beach course. The last place is sitting at 9 under, 7 under, 6 under. 6 over. Sorry. But it looks like a lot of these guys are Lucas Glover. Wife's gonna get mad at him. He's 3 over. Charles Schwartzel, he's over. He's 2 over. So yeah. So it looks like the Monterey Peninsula, meaning Pebble, Spyglass, and the Monterey Peninsula course, is looking like it's playing pretty medium to like decent. There's scores out there. Hopefully the wind won't affect it too much. As we know, that Pebble can blow like 20 or 30 over and just absolutely wreck scores. So what do you got for the overnight Saudi scores?
So the Saudi scores are, for those that didn't watch it, I think Golf Channel picked up coverage again at like 3 a.m. I'm not sure what time they pick up coverage tonight, but there's a chance I may or may not be up for at least the start of it. Anyways, I'm just gonna hit the players that people know. I'll be honest, half of these people I don't think anyone's gonna know who they are. If I don't know who they are, our viewers don't know who they are. No offense, it's just the facts. Matteo Manacero is in first place at 8 under after the first round. Sam Horsfield is tied for second at 6 under. Americans Harold Varner III is at 6 under.
HV3.
Your boy Bubba Watson is at 6 under.
Ooh, Bubba.
Yeah, he showed up. And Dustin Johnson is at 5 under and tied for 7th. If I scroll down real quick again, I'm just trying to grab. There's other people here. You don't even know who these people are. So I'm just scrolling down. Joaquin Neiman and Matthew Wolf are also tied for 7th at 5 under. Tommy Fleetwood is at 4 under. Jason Kokrak with an appearance. He's at 4
there
under.
There we go.
With Patrick Reed, Cameron Smith, Henrik Stenson out of nowhere, and something named Todd Bake. Todd Bake is at 3 under. Apparently he's an American.
Todd Bake. That's something named.
Terrell Haddon's at 3 under, and he's 1 under on club throws for the day. Because I watched that live. He threw a club today, so that was fun.
Nice.
Something named Barry Henson is at 3 under. He's an American. and some a lot of interesting guys at 3 under. Phillip is at 3 under after trashing the PGA Tour. Xander Schauffele is at 3 under.
So do we have a
cut?
What was the cut?
Well, they're only through round 1.
Wait.
They're only through round 1.
I thought. Wait, what's tonight? Wednesday? Oh yeah, round 1. Yep, tonight's the second round. Duh.
Yeah. So, Kevin Na is not doing too well. He's even par. And who's in last place? Something I don't. I'm not even trying to pronounce it.
How about you said something? I love it. Yeah. something named.
And I couldn't even tell you from tied for 85th on. I couldn't even tell you what these guys' names were, so I'm not even going to try. But Thomas Peters is 3 over and is near the bottom. Graham McDowell is struggling. He's at 3 over. Bryson,
are we looking
Bryson
at
DeChambeau,
the Raz
are we sure?
Camilla?
Are we sure Bryson DeChambeau wants to play in the Saudi Tour? Because he's 3 over and tied for 85th. So he's not going to do too well.
Jesus.
So not off to good. Your boy Jason Duff, the big Duff daddy, he's struggling.
Big Daddy Duff.
Should put some more shit in his mouth.
Jeez.
So, no, it's the Public Investment Fund Saudi International.
Oh, okay, I'm
if
looking
you're-
at it. I'm
if
looking at a different one. I'm on the
If you're
DP,
on
website.
if you're on golfchannel.com, on the left,
Okay.
they have the leaderboards.
Yeah.
You know, change the leaderboard. It's the Public Investment Fund Saudi International. That's the one that I was looking at.
Oh, that's weird. I'm on the European Tour website. It doesn't even have that one. Okay.
No, just go to golfchannel.com. It's on your left. The Fine Golf Channel website. Anyway, so there's your two leaderboards for the big major tournaments that are going on. And real quick, I just wanted to get to some of the local stuff. Obviously, not a ton going on as we've talked about, but Kings Crossing is hosting their second annual Super Bowl Sunday Snow Golf Tournament. We got pictures last year, courtesy of our guy Peter Walsh. It looked like a pretty fun time. North Kingstown was a long way to drive for me, and was it in a blizzard?
Yeah,
Because
I love my club, and I love Peter, and I love Rob, and everything. Not happening. Just not happening.
Last year, the pictures looked like a lot of fun last year. I will say.
Oh no, it did.
And
But I hate the snow.
The snow field goals look
no.
kind of funny. Look kind of fun.
Yeah.
But anyways, beside the point, Kings Crossing hosting a snow golf tournament this year. The tournament takes place on Super Bowl Sunday. It's a 9-hole shotgun start at 1 p.m. Format is a 2-player scramble and is walking only. So make sure you carry the bag or bring a sled, like somebody did last year in the tournament. It was pretty amazing.
I mean that Peter said that was the one. That was the thing that was the best. Just bring a sled. Don't bring a pull cart or anything. Just bring a sled.
And if people want to sign up, you're asked to sign up through Kings Crossing Golf Club through golf at kingscrossinggolfclub.com, or just simply call the club, tell them that you know Rich Capali, and they will immediately kick you out. So there's that. That's next week. We'll preview that again next week. I'm not sure when signups end. I'm sure they'll be open throughout the week, but we'll talk about that a little bit more next week as well. And again, last year on Super Bowl Sunday, again there was a blizzard, like literally like a blizzard taking place at the time. So it was legit snow golf. So last year Peter sent us some great pictures to post, and we posted in a slideshow, and it actually looked kind of fun. I'm not saying I would necessarily want to do it. It just looked fun. Anyway, and also tomorrow on the college golf scene, because college golf is back, and we've been back following the PGA Tour University rankings. Tomorrow, Davis Chatfield tees up in the Jones Cup Invitational at 10:30 a.m. Chatfield is now 72nd on the PGA Tour University rankings. He moved up 3 spots this week, so we'll keep an eye on that leaderboard as well. And good luck to him, and what is going to be his final college golf season, perhaps his final few months as an amateur, because I'm hearing that the plan is to turn pro. I believe that he wants one more shot at the Northeast Amateur at his home course, but I believe the plan is to turn pro for him. So, and for us others as well. So, should be interesting. But again, Davis Chatfield tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Golf News Wire will have all the coverage as always, and also Will Dixon plays next week in the Florida Elite Tour in the second pro tournament of the year. And in case you're curious, the first place prize for next week's tournament for our good buddy Will Dixon is a mere $25,000. First place
That's
prize.
all?
First place prize.
For playing golf. Okay.
So there you have it. That is what's going on, some of the local stuff. And obviously, as we said, lots of stuff going on in professional golf. Again, one of the more fascinating weeks in professional golf in a while. Probably since the Ryder Cup. I mean, not that that's saying much, but the Ryder Cup's always fascinating. So, and we have Bay Hill coming up. Super excited next week. We actually, one of our guys down at Bay Hill, our course reviewer is down at Bay Hill, so he's sending us a course review of Bay Hill. He already sent me the pictures because he's playing it multiple times apparently, and they look amazing. So that'll be fun. And then some other things coming up as well that we're excited about. And it's February. February is a short month generally, and then we get into March. And in theory, things will be starting in March. Obviously, high school golf season is coming up. I think that's going to be a fascinating year as well. And obviously, we have all the other tournaments coming up in short order. So that's what's going on locally. And obviously, we'll continue our coverage of PGA Tour stuff and lead up to U.S. Open qualifiers, U.S. Women's Open qualifier, which, by the way, is at Worcester Country Club, historic Worcester Country Club. And that's where we are. So, Mr. Rich, it should be a fun weekend of content if the last day or two were any indication. I know you were texting me a bunch of links, and I was trying to figure out, okay, let's write this. We don't need to write this. I don't think anybody locally cares about Ian Poulter, but it was fascinating. I did include it in the other stories, obviously. And if the last 2 days were any indication, hopefully we get more stuff. Again, I'm all about the content, and whatever's good for content is perfectly fine with me. And it should be an interesting weekend of events to see how this plays out on both sides. I think it is crazy that none of the top players are playing at Pebble Beach, and everybody is over in the Saudi tournament. Probably because the appearance fee is much higher than it is at Pebble Beach.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I just think the whole situation is fascinating. We'll continue to cover. I think it's one of the biggest storylines in all of professional golf. Again, if you haven't listened to the interview with Bob Harrig that we had a month or two ago, he talked about it. It was pretty good stuff, and he really did a good job of painting the picture for us because neither of us really understood exactly how it all works. Phil further paints a picture while trashing the PGA Tour while he was at it, and now Brooks Koepka is going back at him, and it'll be interesting to see if there's more fallout from that. Again, I'm interested to see when Brooks Koepka plays his next tournament, whenever that is, whether it's next week or whatever, if and when he's asked about it, if he further goes back at Phil, because I think that would be interesting. Nothing like a good rivalry. And Brooks Koepka is certainly not afraid to start one, as we see. So this is the Golf Dudes podcast. I think that's all we got. I don't know, Rich, if you have anything else? You have anything else you want to share? Any more stuff coming up? So
No, I'm good.
This is the Golf Dudes podcast. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to get out of here now for the rest of the night and the rest of the weekend. Stay tuned to Golf News Right all weekend long. Again, PGA Tour content at Pebble Beach. We have the Saudi stuff, and obviously the back and forth between the two. Again, is just, I think it's amazing. And again, the last 2 days are an indication it's going to be quite a weekend of some content. Hopefully these guys actually say something in their press conferences. Other than that, follow us on all our social media platforms. Again, just click on the link tree. It's very easy. It takes you right to the page for Instagram, Twitter, even YouTube if you want. And obviously golfnewsri.com. Sign up for the e-blast. And we will talk to you next week, Super Bowl week. So we'll have our Super Bowl predictions. I know Rich is already looking at the betting lines. So we'll have
Of course.
We'll have our Super Bowl predictions next week. And obviously whatever else other golf content we have when that takes place. So thanks to everyone for following along. We're looking forward to a fun summer of golf coverage and projects and different things. So thanks everybody for sticking with us. It's February. Golf season is almost here. Just count down the days. This is the Golf Dudes podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody. Peace.